Richard Southern joins us now for the day's top business news. Richard, big news from Apple as the company announces its new lineup of devices.
Erica, it's like Christmas morning for Apple aficionados. As expected, Apple took the wrapping off its iPhone 15 lineup today at a big flashy event at its headquarters out in Cupertino, California. There are 4 models. All will feature the so-called dynamic island. That's the pill-shaped cutout that first debuted on the top models of the 14. Provides a new way to see notifications. There's an improved camera for all of these iPhone 15 models, 48 megapixel. The top model has a 5-time optical zoom, so you're going to be able to zoom in real close. And if you're a fan of selfies like Erica and I are, the front camera has an autofocus and portrait lighting. What's the biggest feature analysts are seeing, though? I asked tech expert Daniel Bader.
Apple has ditched the Lightning port. It has gone all in on USB-C. What they don't want to talk about is that they were forced to do it by an EU regulation that it's going into effect next year. However, by getting rid of the Lightning port and changing to a USB-C port, all of Apple's products now use the same port for charging.
Apple charging a little bit more for the iPhone 15 in Canada, Erica. If you want the top model with all the bells and whistles, just over $1,700.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of money. My Apple's still a few models back, so maybe I'm
it's true. A lot of people now are waiting 3 or 4 years, and maybe this is one of the reasons why Apple stock actually ended the day lower. There's not a whole lot of super compelling reasons, perhaps, to update if you still got an iPhone that's 2 or 3 years old.
Right. Okay, experts have been crunching the numbers, and it appears both the provincial and federal government will be waiting quite some time to break even on subsidies given to 2 auto giants.
Yeah, it's us, the taxpayer, that are going to be left in the lurch here, according to the Parliamentary Budget Office. It's going to take 20 years for us taxpayers to break even on the big subsidies the Ford government here in Ontario and the federal Liberal government handed 2 big companies. Volkswagen set to get $13.2 billion, and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler and Jeep, set to receive $15 billion in subsidies in order for both of these companies to agree to construct new manufacturing facilities here in Ontario. Now, the 2 levels of government had said that it would take just 5 years for taxpayers to break even. Now, this new report said it'll be 2043 before Stellantis' battery plant in Windsor and the Volkswagen plant in St. Thomas generated enough federal and provincial tax revenue to justify the subsidies. Erica, both levels of government, though, standing by the subsidies, contending that the plants are going to create a lot of jobs in the near term.
Okay, and the International Energy Agency has released new projections on the demand for oil, and it looks like we could be nearing the peak.
Yeah, pretty interesting to hear from the International Energy Agency, after all. It says peak oil is very close at hand now, within the next couple of years, they're saying. The executive director of the IEA said that the age of seemingly relentless growth for fossil fuel demand is beginning to cease. Peak energy demand, of course, also means a peak in greenhouse gas emissions. That's good. The boom in clean energy technologies, including electric vehicles, expected to usher in a more energy efficient era. Of course, there are some economic considerations to take in mind, especially for Canada, when you do rely to a certain extent on all the revenues coming out of the oil sands. That's the longer-term view. Near-term, Erica, price of gas expected to go up 2 pennies tonight. Oil has been tracking a bit higher this week.
Okay, thanks for that report, Richard. That's City News business editor Richard Southern.